makes its way into our southern viewing area, Highlands County, Zolfo Springs, Wauchula, that area, easily this could become a more intensified event based on what we're seeing on the ground with that. So let's go back to the radar now and show you the latest going on with that. And yeah, the system continues to produce just amazing amounts of wind out of this. I mean, when we're seeing radar detected winds of 70 miles per hour, and it's being confirmed by reports on the ground of wind damage, you know this is a serious situation. You know that even if you're not in the tornado warning area, that you do need to take these storms very seriously, because in the severe thunderstorm regions, that yellow box encompassing most of Manatee County, southeastern Hillsborough, southwestern Polk, you could have wind gusts there 60, 70 miles per hour. That alone could take trees down, especially considering the 4 to 6 inches of rain we've had over the last 2 days, and the rain that continues to fall. That has helped to weaken this topsoil, loosen the root balls that hold the trees together, and of course falling trees can result in power outages and a slew of other problems. So it's not just in the tornadoes. But I do want to remind you that we still officially have a tornado warning in effect until 12:45 western Polk County. There was a tornado reported on the ground by a storm spotter. This relayed by the National Weather Service. That was near Bartow, and that was heading toward
Brooks, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning as well. Let me just get that in real quick here. It's severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Hillsborough, northwestern Manatee, and southeastern Pinellas County until 1 o'clock. This was issued a couple of minutes ago from the Weather Service in Ruskin. Indicates a severe thunderstorm producing destructive winds in excess of 60 miles per hour near Anna Maria, St. Pete Beach, and of course moving east at 45 miles per hour.
Steve, take that seriously as well, because as you know, when we relay severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll typically have isolated occurrences of severe weather, but in this case it's broad scale. We're getting a report now from the National Weather Service. County officials in Hillsborough County report numerous roofs missing. Those are roofs around the Tampa Port Authority area. This is, I assume, in the Channel area. Storage containers roughly 40 feet long have been turned over. So when we're talking about widespread wind damage, there's a case in point. County officials talking about numerous roofs missing around the Tampa Port Authority, if that indicates the severity of these cells. And that line is moving south. Those upper level winds, which are blowing 60, 80 knots, translating to the surface in these downpours. Even if you're not in an area with an actual tornado, you could easily experience the equivalent of F0 to F1 tornado damage. That is wind gusts in excess of 60, 80 miles per hour, equivalent to a Category 1 hurricane in these small areas for a brief time. This is going to come at you like a wall of water, a downpour, a real brief wind gust roaring through. It may even sound like, you know, the typical freight train that you hear people talk about when they see or hear a tornado. That could be from a wind gust. I've certainly experienced them when you have a roar of wind and it's in and it's out, and suddenly trees are down and you have a lot of damage to deal with. So take these seriously. With that, let's jump back over to the radar and get the latest on this line. Steve?
Yep, yeah, you're watching the leading edge of this, Brooks, and what you were just talking about and what you'll experience in these areas, and many of you have done that today, is you'll see a very, very dark cloud back to your west, and then you'll see it coming on very quickly, and you've been watching these reports, so you know it'll likely be pretty intense. The areas that pass through now, over Haines City, Lake Wales, and Winter Haven, the worst of it is probably past there, probably still getting some very strong downpours in Winter Haven and Auburndale, but now racing very quickly off to the eastern portion of, is this a new tornado warning here?
It's just continued until 12:45.
Okay, but it looks like it might have extended here just a little bit. Let's take a look at the color on that. The red color is basically what indicates the tornado warning. That's the extension of that, yeah. Okay, this is the same one. Through Bartow to Lake Wales, the tornado threat, as well as the severe thunderstorm warning for Haines City through Winter Haven. And again, flooding concerns as well locally as a result of the heavy rains. But this is probably the highest possibility of seeing severe thunderstorms. And also,
and they did have a public reported a tornado near Highland Park and near Lake Wales. So just what we were just looking at, there actually has been a sighting at this point.
Okay, public has reported in that area, and this one, not to be forgotten, the western part of Manatee County and Parrish and Bradenton, Anna Maria Island, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for another half hour or so. But obviously, the greatest threat for tornadoes remains across the central part of Polk County, in particular the Lake Wales area. As Lee just mentioned, the public has reported a tornado through this area. Jen Lee has reported, and Brooks has mentioned also what we're seeing empirically from the ground there, and we're also getting reports from our National Weather Service chat room that says that there's some folks that are trapped in some possible damaged structure out at the Sun and Fun, and we have Jen Lee on the scene there, and no doubt we'll get some confirmation, if any, from that area very